Alright, what's up everybody? I'm MrGlasco. This is MrGlasco TV. It is Tuesday, November 14th, 2017. I'll actually start trying to get started on Monday, November 13th, but yeah, we're starting that late. But we're here. I'm gonna go a little late. I'm probably trying to get off around this time, so I won't have too long of a broadcast. I'm gonna just try to get my project started here, and that's gonna be in Kerbal Space Program. It's a space flight simulator, sandbox construction kind of game and management. Haven't played it in a while. I don't even know how long it's been since I played it. I think the last thing I worked on was the Milano inspired by the ship of the same name from Guardians of the Galaxy, that Star-Lord's ship. I don't even know if I have the save file for that since I got my gaming PC. And I think this is actually the first time I'm going to play Kerbal Space Program on my gaming PC, so I'm looking forward to pushing the envelope as far as what I couldn't do previously on my other streaming PC. So let's get to it. Let me pull up my references. Where are you? There you go. Ignore the checklist. Ignore the super long checklist there. Let's see what else we got to do. All that stuff's checked out. Ooh, full screen. Well, did I play full screen before? No, I didn't. I know I have to set up my controller, but I won't bother because I probably won't get to the point where I would be using it like that yet. So let's see. Another good thing is I have independent volume control here on my gaming PC, because I do remember this game being really loud. Resume save? No. Okay, start new. Save game, MrGlasco program. Sandbox. Let's make our flag. We should make a custom one, huh? Figure out how to get a custom one in here. Shouldn't be that hard, I'd imagine. I guess let's represent squad, maybe? Since they made such a great game. A little pandering there. Normal difficulty. And my references, okay. My references. These are my references. Hold on. I can show these to you. How do you tab over? Guess there's nothing here to see. So here's one reference, very tiny reference. Here's a Lego reference, which I don't really think it fits the proportional size for the movie. Like this is only this is a one-seater, while the in the movie it's not only a two-seater, but then there's like a cargo hold. Is this the same as this? No. Small microscopic references here. This is a good frontal, even though it's still small, blurry. This is a good shot of the cockpit. And maybe some proportion of how far the cockpit is from the front of the front wing portion. This is from the back, so it's it should be a simple kind of build. Now this image does show some it shows some shielding that makes the craft actually look bigger than it is, but it's actually a little smaller than what it looks like there. And here is on the Rainbow Road a profile, I guess. I don't know if it's an exact profile or like a slightly off center, or like off, off 90-degree profile. But it's a good reference. It's probably the best reference as far as detail up close. And that's what we're gonna go off of. Those are our only references without trying to find a... That's off of Google Images, I guess I should say. Those are our only references without trying to go find a copy online illegally and screenshot stuff, but I don't think it's all that necessary. I can kind of infer from here. I'm thinking we build it in the hangar. It makes the most sense. Makes the most sense to build it here. I'm thinking about a dual cockpit situation based off of the little cockpit shot that we got. Bump, 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 bump. Let's see. Take that cockpit shot. It's not exactly pointed. This could be it. Could go big. Go big or go home. Why is it not going? Oh, got it. Because the back cargo hold, I want to say the back cargo hold has like a lot of room. And it has two opening bay doors from the movie right behind the cockpit. So I think I want to try to do that also. Let's see, is this too big? Let's see. Based on a Kerbal, let's see how, let's get this close to a Kerbal. Might be a little big, might be a pinch too big. I guess probably should be a two-seater to stay true to the thing. We're gonna go with this. Even though the nose here is not flat like it's supposed to be. That's why I was tempted to do this one, because then we can make it flat. Make it like an intake. And we should try. Let's still try. I can already tell this game is running a lot better on this computer. Even the highlighting this, there's like a nice little haze on top of it lighting up green. Like a nice little outline haze. Small things. So I think we're gonna do intake. Something like this. What other frontal intakes? I think there's only one. Air. Ram air. Forgot the frickin' shortcuts now. Start. Move. Or is it numbers? Yeah, it's numbers. And we got snap on. Something like this. I feel like the first part of like building these builds, the cockpit is one of the more challenging parts of it, because all these different unique spacecraft and fictional crafts have typically unique cockpit designs, but your cockpit designs in here are kind of limited, and you can't modify it but so much without it looking crazy or messing with things like aerodynamics. That comes to our next decision. Do we use aerodynamic parts or do we use structural parts? Typically, it's best to go with structural parts to not screw up aerodynamics. Boom, boom, boom. So we're gonna do this. This. Yes. Miss Kerbal. It's good to be home, so to speak. I like to think that Kerbal is one of the games that I actually streamed that was like people found probably the most interesting to watch. How do I want to do there? Boom, 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 boom. Guess I could try some aerodynamic parts to fill out the... Oh, you know what we could use? These. these like on the inside? Start with them here. Bring them up. Push them out. This way we got a lot of air intake for our jet engines. Because with craft that's supposed to be spacecraft, but are kind of designed to fly around like aircraft, I primarily put priority on it being aircraft. Because the difficulty involved with getting these things into space is kind of... it's kind of high. High difficulty. So, instead of being miserable trying to figure out how to get into space and not even being able to fly it, prioritize flying it not in space so that you can enjoy that, and then you make yourself the challenge of trying to get into space. At least that's my approach. It's already looking good. I like it. I like you. Should I put it here? Probably not. Probably best if I keep the anchor. Keep the anchor the body. There's no need to start stacking parts, especially if I'm clipping them inside. Bum, 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 bum. Up, forward. Looking good. Look at that. Now from here, might not need these. Might be able to just go with these all the way. So you can kind of do that to kind of taper it into the craft that you can't really do with the other. Doom, ba-dum, boom. Bum, bum. Ba-doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. Now with this, let's try to get fancy here. Again, this is going to be the Grandmaster's Commodore ship. Did I already even say it? Yeah. It's going to be the Grandmaster's Commodore ship from Guardians of the Galaxy, or Guardians of the Galaxy. Thor Ragnarok, which is funny, because it's a Thor movie. We're designing a spaceship, because one's in there. How do we go from here to here? This is the 3 sides, and we're trying to go down to just 1, 2 sides. I guess this is a 3rd, but I could do triangles with plane parts, but that's gonna mess up aerodynamics. If I try, what else could we do? What else we got? I can try. Intake. How big are these? Thing is, I don't have anywhere to put them. I guess I could put it on a structural point. Try these. I guess too much. That's too much. This might work. Let's think. Structural point. Thinking I-beam. What the heck is this? Strut. Did it always look like that? Has it been that long? Strut. I feel like this icon's changed. And were they always rotating? Did these icons always rotate? I feel like that's new since I last played. Man, it's been a while. I could try to go for this one and then click it on this one. I don't know why I don't like this structural thing too much. It's a very simple, elegant solution. Maybe the stress, tolerance, impact in G's, 50 G's, 7 meters per second, impact, 50 G's, 4,000 kPa pressure, and versus 80, 50, 4,000. So this has a better, this is why I use this one. Well, I-beam, boop, and I think it's also just easier to use this because it's easier to grab and trying to find that little cube in the thing. What am I up in here? This one? Then from here we gotta figure this out. So the thing about curved edges is that when sometimes you can get away with stuff, but I don't know if we're pulling it off as elegantly here. I think. Main triangles is the way to go, really. It's always the triangles. It would be here. Little up, little up. I think Like, am I putting it on this right? What other piece could go here? This is like the go-to piece for me. I feel like this is a type D. Yeah. It's kind of my go-to piece. Can do a lot with it. But maybe thinking about it wrong. I could go this way. This. Just gotta watch for the long part to clip through. I think actually this way. It has to be. Just gotta work with. Get up in here. It says we want to go down. That's making it hard to do that part without it clipping out through. Kind of want to keep the flag. That's what I'm trying to avoid losing. Just have to ditch it because we're at the corner here basically. Not even. It's like, it's funny, the precision is so tight that even when it's not snap, when the snap is disengaged, it looks like it's actually engaged. Might have some real estate if we push it forward. We just gotta live with this. We want to keep that flag. Unless is there a way to push it in more and then swing it out a little bit? Dang it, in the wrong one. This. Really? Not in the way that I'm liking, at least. Let's do that. And then actually, can I do this with structural parts? If I like go like this. To this. Just match the edge. Go like that. Just gotta watch for this corner poking. That's why I wish they make a triangle. Just any size triangle. Just one structural panel that's a triangle. It would completely transform the way people would do structural. Cause like, all you need is a triangle to try to start formulating like a sphere or curves. These kind of angles like this. I feel like that should be coming at some point. Without a mod. Should be a thing. Doesn't look like I can get a better... Thought I could be more flush with this, but that didn't account for that corner popping out there. Because then I got another panel to try to figure out how to fit in down here. So I feel like the triangle, I guess, is still better. It's always better. You can already just tell that this downward, this is my curse with building craft. The downward forward facing angle of all the aerodynamic parts. Which you'd think maybe would be countered if you have upward facing lower portions. It doesn't always play out like that. Instead of having a canceling effect, you have like a tug of war. Which, for obvious reasons, is not optimal for flying. Small one. I thought there was a small one. These are the ones I'm thinking about. This one and this one. And this one. Boom, 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 boom. Doo doo, doo doo, doo doo, boo. Once again, might have to triangle it up. Close this gap. That looks exactly like a triangle. Also never too early to strut. What's up, Space Lord? How's it going? Hope your weekend was well. Hope the start of your week was also well. I guess I could do this. Thinking this is also a decoupler, has a decoupler function. This one's just huge for no reason. But it actually might work, let me see. Camo. Here. To that. Oh my god, it's so big. Probably have it the wrong way. It should be this way and this way. Let's try to fit this in here nice and snug like. You watch Thor Ragnarok? Anybody? I don't care to spoil it for anybody either, but I'm just curious. do, 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 do. I think it might be too long because I want to point this inwards to meet this corner, but it means that the back end is going to stick out. But it could be like one of those things that works. Because I do have to start forming the body, which has to account for some kind of space where it opens up. See, this needs to be more flat. Something needs to connect here that's more flat. Guess I could do a panel from here somehow. Probably too long, 2 units long. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm looking gross. Gonna stick with the triangles always and forever. That's two. Might be better if I try to close it like this. Oh my god. Kinda, sorta. I don't actually have to worry about that because We have to build out the rest of the craft anyways, might be able to cover it up. With that said, could this look smoother? Something like that. Once again. Never too early to start throwing these in here. Again, where are you? Okay, let's connect to something. So there's that. Let's see. Oh my god. Grandmasters. Commodore? And save. We think. It's the front. It kind of goes back, it widens up. So the fact that these are sticking out doesn't matter because it's supposed to go wide about from about here, and I can push it forward here to match. Keeps it going, kinda, sorta. Then there's a huge intake actually behind here. How do I want to play this? Because usually I try to keep this cockpit too. Cockpit entrance. So we gotta do interesting. Are there multiple intakes there? Get out of here, Lego reference. Lego reference, get it. Jeez. So we might be able to do huge intake. Maybe we put it to the body. How do we want to do this? Is there a bigger body adapter? This one. Is that too big? What's this full of? Liquid fuel and oxidizer. This could be the primary source of our fuel. The only issue is tapering this back down to get this nice. It doesn't really have a big booty on it. Everything's pretty slim. Even if I guess I do this, or maybe the underbelly. And then where's our frickin' where is it things? Payload. You have a payload thing. This is where Thor and Valkyrie jump in. I'll need a catwalk looking thing in the middle. I guess a panel might work. Something like that. Actually, it would be quite the elegant solution. Very simple. Thing is, where's our fuel? Where is the fuel? Where's our fuel gonna go? That's why I was actually trying to entertain the idea of this big nasty monstrosity because it would give us the fuel. Oh, you know what we could do? We could rotate this like so. Put it here. See this little, from the profile, this little space here? It's just kind of smooth, and then this goes dip. We can try to move this in a way where this is fits within this. Like so. And then we build it out to smooth this. That actually... But then what about these engines? Is there like an intermediate? Not really. I need an adapter. This. This. Two. Goes down to 2 engines. I feel like it's getting too long at this point. And then 2 engines. I don't think it's that big. Do I have the profile right? It's kind of a smooth, it should be a smooth transition. I don't know if this is that smooth. Could rotate this to that. It kind of looks like it's the makings of a spaceship, and it'll have huge wings. I feel like this is just too big, actually. This is too massive. Maybe this? Or how are we even doing with the cockpit or this thing? Does it look? It's like barely. Kerbal can crawl into that. This one's just too big, I think. Do this. 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 To something to. You know what we can do? Hold that thought. Boom. Equal though. We clip this one in and up to give us our cargo hold. This goes to that. Kind of depends on how I want to work this. Let's see, what are other options? Payload, base, don't really. Dun, 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 dun. Now, it's always a challenge. This is actually me thinking ahead to functionality as opposed to strictly thinking about form. Fuel. I want this. I want the big one. But then tapering it down is a pain. And there's smaller ones. I don't think it's this small. I don't think it's this small. It's like that's that is to the middle. I think it probably comes about here. So even with just this, it's a little big. Bum ba dum bum bum ba da bum bum ba dum bum bum ba da bum ba dum. And these might not even be the optimal. I think I'm probably gonna need 4 engines. I have a feeling a 4-engine spread. And for that, this isn't actually not gonna work. Because then I would actually want one of these. Thinking about using 2 of these somehow. A wiggly engine. So if I get to get this to be 4, I would need what I need. Boom, ba dum, bum, bum, ba bum. Oh, I could do easy. Could do that, so we don't have to deal with putting something on this on this quantum engine connection where it's in 2 places at the same time. That can be a way to solve that. And the thing is, we actually still have to put engines on here, which is going to extend the profile even further. Which I like to go for these because they work in space and on the ground. Oh great, now the mirror is going to be all weirded out. The mirror function is going to be weirded out by how we have this thing assembled. It's like, what am I mirroring here exactly? Because you think if I put it here, it actually mirrors it here, but nope, it's mirroring it there, but that's not a true mirror. So I could just, I guess, rely on this. It's gonna be a little bit small. I think I have space for something in between. What's the difference with these? Monopropellant. Good. Smart. Was there always a monopropellant one this shape? Oh wait, I want with oxidizer, por favor. Did they always have 3 different ones? So what's in this one? Oh, that's oxidizer, okay. Oh wait, no, I don't want oxidizer. Why not? Let's keep the oxidizer. Because oxidizer is for space. To be fully optimized for flying around, we need just liquid fuel. Which would be this one. Which we can still add technically. We can just add it on top. And then clip it right in. Right into the center of mass. That's after we finish. After we finish this. So this is our core ship. Complete with these. This to our this here. What this to the other there. So how good my craftsmanship is. Down a smidge. Perfect. It's très perfect. Of course, gotta strut this thing, cause this thing's gonna try to mirror. Come out. Actually, I should keep it open so that I know how the wings should go. So I wonder if does this door act as a proper cockpit when you have a what do they call this? Payload attached? Because I feel like it should. I know they're just trying to simulate a hatch between 2 parts of a craft, but I feel like if you have it attached to one of these, it should actually act as one of these. That'd be kind of nice. Kinda nice if it did that. Okay, here we go. Let's get the fun part. Let the fun begin. Now, I'm still kind of stressed out about this here, so let's have questions about the integrity of what's going on here, especially because of the flickering. The last thing we need is that to actually manifest into actual jittering. So I like how they show a little ball though of where it's actually gonna come out. I mean, you always got an idea of how it was gonna work, but that's connecting to these ones. Should I do it on top and bottom? Sure, why not? Crisscross action for stability. And now we need to secure these two. And I'm more comfortable securing it to the ship than just this part, the second piece. Now. This all be covered up with wings anyways. So should be fine. I put these to each other maybe? It doesn't look like it's actually letting me. So you can't start the cannot start it there. What if I did this instead? Here. No. Here. To here. Nope. Here. To here. Nope. Here. Here. And then here. So that, nope. Here. This is one of those ones. These are one of those struts that when you turn off the game and load it again from the save file, the strut may move because it's so, the clearance is so tight. Maximum fortification. We really want to be. I was like anchoring things to the cockpit. Ba-doo-doo, ba-doo-doo, ba-doo-doo. Makes me feel safe. This is a bit of a stretch to get this to hit, but let's try one more time. Solid. How are we gonna do this? One thing we could do, in case we did lose, if we have to lose our cockpit, and this is unique to this craft versus previous crafts where I have to kind of just slap on a docking port. Which one's the one that can exit? No. So they should let you slap on a door. What's this? Is this the one? Storage unit. So where's the smaller version of this? Does this have a door? Doesn't look like it. Is this the only size? Can't be. Boom, boom, boom. Here's one. Here's one. Here's one. Is that fuel? Nope. Seems like huge too, isn't it? It's not gonna work. Kinda just gotta keep this freaking door both clear then. It's always a challenge with these smaller crafts. Keeping a door, because if you have a big craft, then you can slap on one of those that has those pieces that have a door on it. According to this, the angle of this is actually more like oop. What am I making? A boat? What's up, Bioroots? I'm trying to make the Grandmaster's Commodore from Thor Ragnarok look something like, hold on. Looks something, trying to make something that looks like this. The profile, at least. That old biddy. So I got what I'm doing right now is trying to build up the frame to fit the profile while keeping this door exposed so I can have Kerbal's exit. It's always nice. Yeah, it should be cool. Should be great. A lot of air intakes on this thing, looking at it from that picture. Like little ones. That's why I have a bunch at the front to make up the grill. I feel like it's always safest to go from here with panels. Because you don't affect the aerodynamics. Oh god, it's 2. We gotta keep it rolling. How could I do this? Because I could try to build it up to a single panel on top that's flat. Which means these are anchored at the wrong point. Bum, bum. I have to move this back. This. Easy. Easy does it. So we do it like that. Do like that. And have some pieces that go up to that. How do we... Gotta do triangles. Triangles. Scoop. 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 Whoa, whoa. That. Then can we fit a straight panel down, maybe? Save us using more aerodynamic parts. Not mirrored, snap. What other thing could I do? I could do something like this. Might be to make the transition a little smoother from rounded to square. Kind of just cluttering it though. Not really. Meh. I'm not the biggest fan, but could work. Let's see, we need it to keep going. So could we actually start sneaking some fuel in here? Structural. Right on there. I think we're gonna need tons of liquid. This is a lift surface though. I'll be adding to my woes if I'm not putting on here straight like. Or even do I go for this one? Oh god, it's so big. It's so large. How do we lower this into this baby? Gently is the answer. Ever so gently. Ease it in. Little by little. I actually want to rotate this. Actually should put on up the other way. Like so. Down. Forward. Pivot down. Now I think I'm safe to manipulate it from just here. Oh man. How are we gonna control that? Out of control. It's out of control, man. Where's the I-beam? I'm gonna move this back so we can clean up some of the transitions happening. Too far? I think that is. Might be too greedy, probably being a little bit too greedy with this here. Trying to get this to work. Unless I just have it showing through this intake. That's the part I'm kind of not liking. Can make it more flush. Can be like a fancy intake. Things on the inside to specialize the air intaking process. Let's try to make this work. Let's just try to do it. I have to ask you to mirror that, please. Mirror that. Here to here. From the cockpit. Oh, that's not the cockpit, is it? This is the cockpit. That thing is fairly secure. Fairly relatively secure, not really. Gonna be a pain. Oh man, especially if the weight, oh god, if the weight on this thing does what I think it's gonna do, it's gonna, when it loads, this is gonna bounce. It's gonna do a gravity bounce. Test your might. There. Let me close this gap. All pretty like. I could start employing some early Uber aerodynamics. Since this thing is gonna have a funky shape, I like to employ these clipped within the craft to assist with aerodynamic calculations. Might. All depends on how we do it. Trying to avoid the downward angle. Let's try to get something like wait. Scoop. Scoop. That's such a weird profile now. Thinking no. How about no? Let's reset it. We can have it running from the cockpit. It's just too tall. Unless the downward angling would make it viable, but I think it's just too big. Or we just go with the regular. Boom, boom. Just do-do-do-do-do. Ba-dum. Can we make this any more gradual? If I clip it in a little, I can shorten the amount of time I get to match this edge or this curve. Oh God! I want to forget. What if you make one that looks like a starfighter? I'm sure they're out there. Oh God. I'm sure that they, there's a website for this stuff. I can actually get save files for stuff that's already been made. What is it? KerbalX.com. What's the mission? The mission is to make the Grandmaster's Commodore ship from Thor Ragnarok. That is the mission. I'm kind of... My usual focus is on form over function to make it look accurate. I'm kind of forcing this big tank of gas because typically with these kind of builds, fuel is an issue. So I'm trying to be proactive in that sense. Which begs the question though, who's actually seen Thor Ragnarok and knows the relevance of the Commodore? Oh, you need to see it. Okay, I won't spoil it then. Knowing that it's called the Commodore doesn't spoil anything. And until you start looking it up. For the movie purposes. I don't know if there's an actual Commodore in the comics. But basically from the I think there's been enough shown from like trailers to reveal that this is the ship. And there are very limited references that I have. Not yet. Yeah, the comics always seem to follow any good material from the cinematic universe. Seems like, especially like when Tony Stark, when Robert Downey Jr. like nailed Tony Stark, they're like, okay, this is the standard. Or I guess to give the creators of Iron Man credit too, maybe that was always how it was meant to be done. Let's see. Tool. Let's cross it up. Yeah, I don't even think the Grandmaster, from the Grandmaster part when the comics, when they, I think it was like a major crossover event where all the Grandmaster had a combat of champions or whatever he called it. In the actual comics, he was like a, you know, he was like the collector, a celestial or whatever. So I don't think he needed spaceships. Life is, it's going good. It's going alright. Gotta prepare, gotta set up everything for my daughter's 3rd birthday. Coming just around Thanksgiving. Which always complicates it. It's like we always forget that her birthday's like right the 25th, so it's like right there. And we try to plan these things, it's like, oh, we can do this. But then it's like, oh, wait a minute. It's basically Thanksgiving. Cosmic beings kidnapping heroes. Yeah. So it's like, how do you plan a birthday party around that? Unless you just merge it, which kind of feel bad for somebody who's like forced to merge their birthday with just a holiday. I guess Galactic had a ship. That's true. Space Lord. Yeah, happy birthday and thanks for everything else. Especially you, since it's your birthday. Really happy Thanksgiving. Happy thanks birthday. Happy thanks for birthday giving. Which makes me think, like, when people try to make the time of year, what is it, astrology and stuff, determine your personality, I think it's more like, it's just patterns and stuff, because like, my birthday's in December, so we have Christmas, we have New Year's around the corner, and then being exposed to the atmosphere then forms your personality. And I can't go into all the metrics of, okay, what happens if you're born in springtime, fall, winter, and then you have to apply all the layers, all the social layers of holidays and traditions and, you know, what the cycles are throughout the year. But I think those actually play more into the kind of personality you have than the stars. Alignment with the stars, which is kind of just, you know, it's all kind of the same. It's all just what what do they call it? Not coincidence. Correlation. It's all correlated. Because having a birthday right before Christmas, I think, makes me think, oh, I can use my Christmas or my birthday money for Christmas gifts. So people who have similar birthdays in December may be prone to that kind of proactive thinking, thus developing a more charitable personality. Not to say that anybody else at any other given time of the year doesn't think ahead that much, but it's like very convenient for people in December to be like, okay, how can I work this because I'm broke? You're born in a blizzard in April. It's very unique. I would think. Let me think, do I need to put paneling on this whole top part? Be nice if I didn't have to. How are we gonna work this corner? Triangles. Your bro's born 2 weeks after Christmas, which means we're already just getting out of holidays. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what kind of social stuff. And the things. There we go, it kind of closes off that quite elegantly. One way I like to close. Is it this one? When you have a curved edge like this, I feel like putting one of these on. Looks good, thanks. To match up with it. Just an easy way to close it off. Instead of trying to fit a bunch of flat surfaces together to try to finagle it. Can we make it look a little nicer without it starting to poke through? Me wonders. It's a weird anchor point to adjust from. I actually don't mind that kind of clipping. I just pretend it adds to the complexity of the, like all this random paneling that they have on all these stock parts. It's like, yeah, that's what that is too. Yep. Okay. Can I close this? Where would the wings start? The wings start at the back third. So right about... Starting at the center mass isn't that bad of a situation. Of course our center of mass is going to move as we add weight to this thing, but... Should I add it to the inside? I feel like adding it to the tank is actually smart because it'll be supporting the tank when lifting versus supporting the core of the craft and the tank kind of just bobbing up and down. Which tends to happen. Dial this center mass in. Like I said, it's gonna move, but let's see. Yeah, I still got my automated messages popping up. But yeah, it's cool that we made it to. Did we already make it to 9 million for Extra Life? You like skip like a bunch, like out of nowhere. Someone's like, "Oh yeah, I was supposed to make my $1 million, supposed to make my $1 million donation this year." Here we go. Or do we just make it to 8? I want to say 8. Let's go. Should we go big wings? It's not big. Where's the big wings? These wings. Boom. Then because it's a spacecraft, you can't have the wings facing normal direction. God dang it. Normal directions, it's got it backwards. As they are. Come on, work with me. That's that way, that's that way. There we go. This actually saved me a lot of time. Just having a nice 9 million. Yeah, that's crazy. I think they said their goal is like 10 million. They might hit it before the end of the year. I feel like it. That's a... I feel like that'll work its way around. For people who are just doing their marathons later, to like maybe companies that are trying to get in the last tax write-off, they'll match something for something or something. And things. The thing is, this is supposed to, from the top silhouette is supposed to be more of a circle. I'm gonna have to build out this. Oh, this floor, this diagram on the floor is, oh god! $15. Appreciate that. Thanks, Tiny. Thank you for that. That's helping me inch towards my goal too. It'll be funny, me and Extra Life as a whole get our goals together, but theirs is far 10 million would exceed last year by 400,000. I feel like that's doable. Still. Yeah, I'm interested to know from game day last year to the 31st of December, what was the? Because if we use that, say, as like a sample of what could be done in that amount of time, I wonder if we've already exceeded that or what. So you have to go too wide here. The wing has to come all the way, make full circle. $700,000 more raised game day this year. Awesome. I'm really lazy about this though. I could be like, boop. Boop. How come it's not symmetrical? That makes me nervous. Oh god, the wings on the back aren't even symmetrical. You can already tell. That's not good. How do we fix that? Where's the I-beam? Can we fix that? Okay, I'm assuming the symmetrical now looks... No. Whatever weird angle it is at now, it just happens to coincidentally mesh in the front. It's always frustrating with this. Billy exceeded 100% of what it made in 2016. Nice. Wind shear, I mean... Yes, is the answer. But then it's also made for space, which... And it's made for... technically other things. Like the movie. Details. Let me think. So these are off by that much. That matches those. This goes there. And this goes that. I feel like there's still a little angle in there somewhere, but probably negligible. Negligible. Let's see, how are we gonna do this now? I need to make this thing a circle now. I feel like it's too big. It's too big. Might. Bruv. Can you start in space? Don't think so. Not sure. I always thought that it should be a module. Maybe like just a generic, just a big module that if you assemble it in space and like a 3x3x3 cube, then you get a magic kind of space port. But as far as I know, nothing formal. Might be a mod. This one's just too big. It's too big for me to deal. Can't handle it. Which means I have to do it manually. We still have some decently sized wing parts though. Not that. Not that. How am I grabbing just the tiniest ones? You're going to sleep, Tiny? Well, you have a good night. Thanks again for the donation. Supporting Children's National Health System here in Washington, D.C. area. Have a good night. Gonna do this. Doo-doo-doo. Wah, 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 wah. Is that thick? Not really, but kinda. Really don't want to do this in too many parts. Dude. Daggone imperfect alignment. You're killing me. Got here, I could try to put another one down. So here. Slide it in here. Like this. Not quite a circle. What is this? Oh god. Bring this in now. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Try Delta Wing. God. Not that kind of symmetry. No, game. Did he change from radial? Okay. R. Fair enough. Fair enough, game. I don't think it actually. Let me check my references here. You know what this looks like? It looks like the rebel symbol from Star Wars. Is that the symbol I'm thinking of? So what will let me do? To just eyeball it. Depending on how I do this, I'm gonna have like crazy amount of lift. So I can do like that. Then bum, 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 bum. See, doing this, all this though, might make these big ones obsolete. Even though I guess that long wing comes out to there. Thinking maybe I shouldn't have used these big wings. Is there a smaller wing I could use maybe? Because if I'm using that one, these probably. These actually. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I'm not liking this, how this is coming out. And the fact that it's not symmetrical because it's basing it off of radial symmetry instead of whatever is not middle symmetry. Which means I probably have to actually use it on the frame and then just strut it like crazy onto the onto the tank. Actually, I probably should use longer ones. It's this gas symmetry, come on. That's this, that, center of mass, kind of. Probably behind center of mass, because I feel like we're gonna build a lot onto the back of this thing. It's gonna be ridiculous. A bit redonkulous. I suspect. From here. Build it out. Build it out nice and easy like. Boom. Up, up, up. sure those other big wing pieces will actually play a part when we build out the mass of the back. Especially under here. Boom, big one. And more of these panels on the top so we don't mess up our lift. From here we can actually try... there. Here. Whoops. Now gradually we can make this inner arc here. Technically I could copy this. How do you copy again? Let me save. Control click? No. Shift click? No. Alt click? Or that's not alt. Control shift click? Alt shift click. There's a copy function. What was it? Control alt shift. Control alt. Alt. Shift. Let me look it up. Copy click. Copy click Kerbal Space Program. Press Alt left click. Nothing's happening. Press Alt pull left click to copy. Option. PC. What's not working? They disable Alt clicking. Screw it. Wait, nothing's clicking now. No. Can't select anything anymore. And change these tabs. I mess up my game. I have to leave, come back maybe. And now alt click is gonna work. Yep. Yup-a-roni. Ooh, this looks pretty gnarly. I could do, maybe we'll do without the one here. Let's check out our references. Oh yeah, truck. On the front, actually, it looks like these need to come out more. Raw. I'm pinching you. I'm pinching. Pinch. I pinch. I pinch. It's like it looks big 1 second from one profile, from one silhouette, and then the next thing you know it looks small again. Let's see. It's dun, 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 dun. Pom, pom. See if we can get away with this somehow. Ba-da-ba-da-bum. The inside. Ba-dum-bum. So far, this thing is poised to do a backflip. I already can tell. Piece. Bum, bum, bum. Weird little ship. Banamo down. Need to bridge this. Oh god. Thanks King Crab Meat for that follow on the Twitch. Hear me up to death. Appreciate it though. Let's see. I think it's actually supposed to be a little wider here. Supposed to go to like here-ish. It's kind of all fat looking. Front. Should probably come out to like here-ish. Maybe not that much. But we'll work it out. Oh god, not that angle. Might be too sharp of an angle. Maybe not. Maybe not. How do we do this? Is Delta Wing too big to play with here? Probably. What other wings are there? What's this weird one? If I had to make... So the inside curve was easy enough. It was intuitive. The outside curve is a little... I think it requires smaller triangles. That's why this one's placing it a little funny. At least for me. I feel like it needs to be cut right about here. Even if it's gonna go as wide as I'm trying to make it. Do we need to go this small though? It looks cool, but does it fly? The looking cool part takes priority. Otherwise, we'd just be making completely optimized airplanes and rockets. So in short, no. I'm guaranteed this thing. Even if it had if I put thrust behind this thing is definitely doing a backflip because all of the center of mass is right there. All of the lift is right there. Ideally, you want this ball inside that ball. The thrust, I think, is lined up correct. And I'm not even sure if these are getting fuel. I would hope so. Oh man, I forgot all about running fuel. I should have the wear enough space to manage the fuel, get it to where it needs to go. Like this is actually sticking out too much. These points. But to retract them means moving this back and then moving this up, which is fine. I should probably work with that. Let me just place this one. Too big. This one right on it. Yeah, it pokes out up front. Unless I rotate it. Not this way, but this way. Gonna move it the right way. Still maybe overkill. Is this the exact same piece I used last time? Or is this a little fatter? I think it's a little fatter. There. 2. You want to try it? Let's try it. I have a feeling this, I have a sneaking suspicion that I don't even know if this will support itself. But let's save here. And we'll save one that's designated for testing. In which we don't have to worry about messing it up. Do we want to put wheels on this thing? I was thinking about just putting it on one of these. A launcher. It's probably easier just to do the launcher. Yes. This. And how about a little bit of an angle? How do you do that? Can you shift click from rotate? Can. There we go, 45-ish degrees. Whereabouts? So if it has enough thrust to go forward, it's gonna backflip. If it doesn't, it's just gonna crash. It's gonna be too heavy and crash into these things. So we need a stage to light engines and a stage to release. Testing. Let's try it. Oh, it's bouncing. Yeah, I thought it had some struts in there. Oh my god. I don't know. Do we have SAS, RCS? Sure. Throttle all the way up. Ready. Steady. Go! Come on. Go. So we crashed into this stuff like I was thinking, but we didn't explode, so that means we're pretty solid. Come on. Anytime now. Revert to... Isn't there a revert to hangar? Yeah, it's been this long. Oh, you have to click it first. So, let's go investigate in here, because I know there's a strut in here already. It's probably just orphaned, because I moved stuff around. Clicking to something irrelevant. Let's see. See if we can get the tips of these to strut together. Can't trust 100% that that's working. That's a strut. That's a successful strut. on. Come on. Crisscross all the time. It's like not wanting to clip through its own self. Its own mirrored self. Probably will work if I do it like this, but it's not like it will look great. Fine, I'll do a single non-symmetrical strut. Here, there. What do we need? We need more power. Need more power. Now everything's at a weird angle. Let's level. Is that level? It's level enough. Oop. Now, let's light a fire under this thing. What size are we going with? The thrust from this, what's the max thrust? Max thrust, 250 versus if I just go with this, I can go with the smaller one maybe. Don't have to get too crazy, I already know this thing's gonna backflip like crazy. Stick on there straight. Close enough. It's funny because I put it on a decoupler as if I'm gonna go through that stage nice and smooth, free and clear. Do do do. So when these release, it'll actually launch it. The boosters won't ignite until it's party time. Oh, forgot about decouplers. Forget about the decouplers, you cheeky bastards. Maximum power. playing field from here? Not sure, it doesn't look like it. Yeah! Woohoo! Bro. That's what that is. Let me see, like I said, the forward back flipping here. Oh yeah! How can we control the back flipping? I'm thinking when I finish building out the rest of the ship, I'm gonna have to stick some massive, I'm talking massive, wings in the back here and angle them. Absolutely massive. Got a ship here. Wanna come? Angle them weird? Can't even angle them weird. What I gotta do? Basically just clip multiple wings like that, or somehow bring the weight to the front, which is impossible. Okay, let's see. What if we put a big redonkulous nest? Always grab the wrong one. There is no getting that lift to the back. Oh. Is there any angling we can do to finagle? That. But that means we have to go even bigger here. Mind you, we don't actually have any control surfaces, which I probably should have. Put her out there. Oh, come on, mirror. Grab it. Why isn't it mirror? Oh. Why isn't it mirroring? I must be touching something that unmirrors it really quick. Does I know it's mirrored still? It's fine. We can work with this. Feeling weird, but work with me. Now all the struts. We're gonna need all the frickin' struts. Make sure there's no movement in this thing to cause it to go crazy. Give me Some down here for good measure. Under the undercarriage. Look at this thing. This goes here. Let's give us some. Oh, what happened? The freaking center of gravity. I'm gonna try to move up these. Let's move the mass up. The mass closer to the lift. Somehow I need to move the lift further back even more than I have it currently. Which one requires this? Oh god. This. Angle. Nope, I don't think it's possible. I think, what other shenanigans can I do? Old favorite of mine. Spamming these at this angle. There we go. That did it strangely enough. And so we got a little bit more control. Let's get some control surfaces in here. Why is it not copying? Alt, click. Oh, it worked. Alt, click. You have to hold that for like a second. Should make a significant difference. Okay. Save. Let's do this. Looks good. So we got to get the fuel, connect the fuel lines to this monster tank in the middle. Ready? Steady, boom! Come on, just get over. Oh god! Oh god! Oh no! Oh, that drag! Oh my god! Oh! Ow! To me it looked like this. Dislocated wing arms. Can that be fixed with struts? How am I gonna avoid that ever in anything else, in any other situation? Unless the lift is so strong that, Maybe the lift could be so strong that it requires minimal thrust. Because maybe it was just too much thrust. We're gonna need more than that though. But I don't want to destroy the aesthetics. That's the one of my main concerns. Do not want this thing. And that's if I figure out how to build the back of this without having it look like this craziness. The easiest way to solve this actually is to do this and pretend like they're not even there. It's probably the easiest way to solve that issue. Boop. On. Cause he also, it's like we're turning it into a just regular airplane almost. Yeah, we're flying. Oh god, I have no control other than the engines. I have no yaw control. Whee! Let's see this tank. Yeah, this tank is not pulling. Oh god, not this. Not like this. Not like this. Do, do, do. 1 minute and some seconds. That's what the test version of this looks like. Yeah, how are we gonna deal with no testing? How are we gonna deal with no yaw control? Other than engines. You know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to load it up with, where are you? These Werner engines that operate off of, what do they operate off of? It requires oxidizer, which sucks. Does this have oxidizer? This has oxidizer. But basically they're very tiny rocket engines that are controlled via monopropellant RCS thrusting control. So they can nudge the ship in ways with sheer force as opposed to control surfaces. So somehow, let me get this. Somehow, we're supposed to fit that kind of maneuverability into what will inevitably be this ship. This is a very oversimplified version of it. It's a little bit of it. See, this is the one where I'm nervous about, because it's like you get so much going on, so much I have to build up to the back for it to maintain a bulky back and slim front. It's our cockpit. And then it actually has a slim back too, so it's not like the back is super bulky. Comes down to just a couple of engines. Here, this is probably the best, most gives us the most information, where it looks like the wings are angled. The wings are angled down. Oh my god. That's my worst nightmare. Unless we make this thing basically something that flies on pure, like, Vernor engines everywhere. Like, I made Archie once from the Watchmen, and it was basically a blob that looked like it. That's all that needed, all required, and then I surrounded it, which is Vernor engines, and I think two main jet engines pointed down. Or no, four. So it sat on the four elements of thrust pointed downward, and then Vernor engines for everything else. I wish I had that save file. That was actually one of the more fun builds. I think my three favorite is the Archie, the Milano, and then the Normandy from Mass Effect. Milano being from Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord ship, the Watchmen ship from the movie Watchmen. Archie. But I actually think this is a good place to stop. I'm definitely going to come back tomorrow to keep working on this, but usually it takes some time to get the first initial framework out, and I think we did a good enough job here. There might be some concern with the wing and some drag, but I think we can place engines, these Vernor engines on the wings to have actual force exerted on them to stop that, maybe? I don't know. Or we can just try to hide struts as close to the edge as possible, like creeping its way all the way up and around. And on this side too, maybe close some of these gaps before I close them with a wing part. Include a bunch of struts. That's probably what I have to do. I'm still excited for this build. Thor, Ragnarok is still very relevant, still very fresh in my head as far as the movie. I think I want to try to go see it again. Probably won't be able to because I have kids and we need babysitters, and we're better off saving those kind of rare occasions for something brand new, to watch something new. So yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. Hopefully I can try to get some prep done today so that I can be more on time. I try to start by 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click these thumbnails at the end of the video and watch me play some Divinity Original Sin 2. We are in this town of Driftwood and everything's kicking our butt. But we're still slowly making some progress. Yeah, I'll probably be playing Kerbal for the majority of this week and then maybe switch it up either in the middle or towards the end. But that's my time. See you guys later on. Peace out.